going to do a close-up of the hands. The idea is to show you how you're supposed to shape your arm and use your fingers and wrists, elbows and shoulders and whole body in the pushing hands. The thing to do is basically you point your palm the way it's going. So I'm going to point it forward, gradually flexing it when it goes forward. When it comes back, it points towards me. Make it round like a circle. It's very tempting to do this. I'll show you. So if you push, it's very tempting to do this. That makes it very easy to grab the fingers and put a wrist lock on. So if he lifts there, especially if he pushes onto the elbow there, and then pushes that towards my armpit, I'm in trouble. Okay? So it's better to round it there, like that. If Vince grabs it again, any old guy likes, it's easier actually to keep, you do your coiling. I'll just show you again, do it slow. Then I'm only working against the thumb and the opening here, the opening between the first finger and the thumb. There. You actually use your whole body, so if he grabs it, there. Okay, obviously you have to take care of that, otherwise it's going to possibly hit you. Okay? You can coil and grab, okay, that way. You've got to be good at using your wrists, which comes into the routines. There's all sorts of spirals goes into it. Okay, but anyway, that's for more advanced people. But if you push, Vince, if I do that, I've structured this right through the spine. So the spine's gone back. I've pulled the sternum in and up a bit and curved slightly forward. I'll explain the 6 bows later, it's called. As Vince pushes in, if I rotate, then all that energy is now dissipated and the force is gone. Well, it's going that way, okay? Which makes it easy for me to push him or pull him off balance. So if I pull this way but push that way, his balance is gone. Okay, so we're gonna push just to get a close up of the hands when we're doing pushing hands. So if you push, so it pointed towards me and it's curved at the wrist. It matches your elbow curve really. Nice and slow that bit. So it actually makes it more powerful. If I want to hold, not that you want to really, if I want to hold, then it starts to get very powerful. So I don't want to stand here. You see it starting to shake? I'm trying to hold. I'm not pushing back. That's different. Okay. But as he pushes in, instead of trying to hold, just dissolve the energy. Like that. Okay. And the interesting thing is I found that if you do it like this shape, it never gets stronger. Your arm doesn't get stronger. If you do it like this, your arm actually builds up good strength, especially connected through the spine. Probably to do with all the tendons and the position of them. There, they're all in a good, solid position. Okay, so just watch and try and copy how we do it. So the palm pushes away, points away, and therefore it points towards me when it's coming towards me, points towards Vince when it's going towards Vince. Okay, and we end up with more or less a horizontal ellipse. It would be horizontal if we were both the same height, but of course we're not. So it comes down a bit here. I try and lead it down. And if I wanted to drop into a pull, it's just a matter of doing that. Just turning the hand and pulling. I use the elbow, his elbow. My fingers and thumb, there's a technical term, knobbly bit. You've got the elbow, the joint, and just behind there, if you grab there, it starts to hurt a little bit to the other person. And it really is a good grab. But I don't actually hold tight. I might squeeze in tight with these just to give them a bit of pain. But with this, it's just stuck. In other words, don't grip it. Don't go white knuckled here. Just stick, because it actually expands here anyway. All it might do is slip a bit. But the thing is, they get no warning. And if you grip it hard and then pull, they've got a warning that you're trying to manipulate their hand. They might snatch free. If he rotates that way and pulls it towards himself, then it makes it hard for me to hold on. Okay, just show him again. There. And again, he's using it, if you watch, he's using his whole body. He's not just using his arm. There. Okay. So rotations like this come into the routine. Spirals like this come into the routines. And in pushing hands, basically keep it curved like that and then flex it as it goes towards the other person. The idea is to emit the energy through your palm, the Lao Gung point. The Lao Gung means point of hard labour. Okay? There. Or there. We're going to now do pushing hands 2, which is vertical. We've just done horizontal plane, which actually only involves 2 feet of Tai Chi, which is basically Pong and Lu. Lu is pull, Pong is, it's like sprung. This arm is sprung. If you push on it, this would be too weak and soft, it would just collapse. This would be pushing back, which is hard work and it's not really a good idea. But if you push, I just try and dissolve it while holding my ground. In other words, I let it spring a bit, so think of sprung and pong, that's good. I let it spring a bit, but as I do that, I turn. That sprung energy then is given back to the other person, which tends to send them off that way. So you're allowing them to load your arm and body, your whole body actually, it goes into your spine and your legs, and then from there out. With vertical pushing hands, this becomes more practical in terms of self-defense. What you tend to do is take it up a bit first and drop it down. So if we go from it goes up a bit, then down. Now Vince, in order to protect his elbow and his arm, now we'll push into his elbow here towards my sternum, say that's the height it is, so that's a good target. Okay, let's go again. So we've got 1, that's Pong, 2, there, that's G. But I've actually done a little bit of Lu. Lu is pull. I haven't used these Chinese terms, but Pong is sprung, like bracing out, but just holding your ground, allow it to spring a bit as you dissolve the energy. That turns into Lu, which is pull, and then Vince is going to do G, which is, it actually means squeeze, and you push into your elbow and you make this connection through your spine again towards their sternum. Okay, so we've got Pong here, it's a little bit sprung but not pushing back. Lu here, but as soon as I turn to do Lu, before he gets pulled off balance, he's going to come up this way. So no matter how hard I pull that way, he can still push this way. It might be falling that way, but he can still push his energy this way. So I've got to watch out for that elbow. So it's the last feet of the first 4 feet of Tai Chi called An, and I sit back and notice how I've stuck my bum back a bit more than I normally do. Normally I just curve. I've actually stuck my bum back, my groin back if you like, there. Now from that I push towards Vince, and he takes it up first. It's exaggerated to show you. Then he pulls it down. As he pulls it down and pull it that way, I'm likely to start falling that way, or he might push me that way. So as soon as I feel he's going to do that, I want to press in here. Now the fact that he's got 2 hands here makes it easy for him to then push down, stick your bum back, and I can't hit his groin, see? I can't hit his groin because both hands are actually pushing on here. But he tries to also trap this hand as we go. There, okay? Then I continue the circle. Vince is now going to push with this hand again. And I take it up and down. And keep going. Nice and slow. I go forward, middle, back. This is on my legs. Forward, forward a bit further, back, back a bit further, or you can say from back to middle, front, middle, back. And Vince is doing his front now while I'm back, middle, this is Vince, back. So you are allowed to stick your bum back a bit here. It makes sense, okay, there. You can't hit me because I'm pinning him that way. You can't hit me, okay? Now we're going to do relaxed and just do it for health and relaxation. Great for your shoulders, turning in the waist, pumping blood around your body with your legs, excellent for your health. And this, when you do it gently and softly, you're trying to increase your sensitivity and awareness of the other person's energy and your own. So that's pushing hands too. We're going to now do it away from the camera so you can see it, the whole body. Okay. Vince pushes. Take it slightly up. In later on in Tai Chi, in the 24, fair maid. Watch. Fair maid. But then dropping it to pull. He presses in. I push. He pulls. I elbow. He pushes by. That's An. There goes Pong. Lu. Vince does G. I do An. When we first start, because he's expanding from his centre as well, we're both doing Pong. Now Vince does G. Now I do Pong. I do G. He's pushing to your own elbow, but it means squeeze. Okay, then we can swap feet, start again, do it with the other hand, do it the other way. We're now going to demonstrate pushing hands 3, which is an extension, if you like, of pushing hands 2. It's the vertical circling, which later on develops into a lot of different moves that get very interesting. Okay, so we're going to start just like we did with pushing hands 2. So it's the vertical circle. So I'm going to do 1.5 circles. That's 1 circle. Here's the halfway round. Go to this elbow, let it come up a bit. Now here I can pull with my hip. I can do a lot of things to pull it down like that, because I can add my body weight. Okay? Then I'll push up. So we've changed direction. We've got the same hands and feet forward, but we've changed direction. So as soon as I grab this hand goes behind the elbow. I sit back and turn the hip. Vince is doing the same, but a different time. Just there. So it comes middle, forward, middle, back. I'm talking about Vince. And when it goes back, stick your bum back a little bit. Now notice with that, I'm going to slow right down. This is Pong, where he's hitting towards me. He's guarding against this elbow as well. I'm going to take it to Lu. He's going to press it and squeeze, G. I'm going to press down and pin it, and now I'm trying to pin this arm and this arm with the heel of my palm there. You can trap it with your hand, I'll show you in a bit. You'll find here you have to turn your waist quite a bit, but don't overdo it, just enough to get it to go by. Just there. Yeah, I'll have it to turn a bit. Okay. Now there's a point here which I'll show you. It's coming up now, where Vince could just forget about pushing on there and just come from it. Yeah. So what you need, part of Pong, is a slight feeling of floating upwards. Don't push up all the time, just get shoulder ache. Just get a feeling of floating upwards. So if you push with that hand towards the face, that's all I need to do. Once I've gone that high, I don't need to go any higher because it's missed. I'm also watching out for this hand, okay? But there's an awful lot you can do to reply, you know, obviously I can go with this hand. Also, can you just lift that hand out of the way? This hand is there, and I can actually purposefully try and lean down on that. And if he rotates your arm, this is called bombs out, which means chicken wing. There's all sorts of interesting things you can do, okay? But, so, we go again. Basically, we've got the 4 feet of Tai Chi. The first 4 is 8. We're both on Pong, he's pushing. I go to Lu, I'm pulling. Only slightly. He goes to G, he's squeezing in. I go for An, which takes it by. You're pinning down and taking it round. He's already going that way anyway. You're going with the energy. He goes with the energy. You always go with the energy if you can. Very rare you go against it. You only go against it when you're in a much stronger position, which I'll explain later. But this is it. Always stay close to their arms. So when I do this bit, I'm staying close to this arm. And I'm staying close to this arm until it comes to here. Right. Okay, we're going to do it closer up. And you get a nice sense of rhythm with it, and it's excellent exercise. Your back will become very strong and supple. If you don't overdo it, don't try to turn too much initially. Later you can turn quite a lot and still be in a strong place. So that's using your waist, your hips and your shoulders. You actually use your legs to push, your hips, your tummy muscles, everything. Shoulders. Obviously your arms a little. But most people try and just push with their arms, which is very weak compared.